All right, today we're gonna have some fun. You and me, we're gonna create an optimized listing, an optimized selling machine that will produce revenue for years to come. So do me a favor, invest 10 minutes now in yourself, in your business, and optimize these 9 points for every Amazon listing that you have, increasing your bottom line, increasing your conversion rate, and ultimately getting more organic sales. Sound good? All right, let's get into it. We'll be working primarily in the Amazon Seller Central workflow. So to do that, just head into sellercentral.amazon.com, go into inventory, manage inventory, and then click edit to the right of any product that you'd like to optimize. So we're going through these 9 steps together right now. It's going to be a lot of fun. I'm going to kid around a little bit, but mostly just give you some really good, concise information that we've learned from launching hundreds of different campaigns with Honest Few. All right, so optimization point number 1 is the title. What I want you to do with the title is I need you to stuff it with keywords. I'm just kidding. Stuffing things with keywords is so 2014, right? The days of your number 1 best-selling barbecue grill glove, premium heat, mitten barbecue grilling, hot, super hot mitt, Black Friday sale, 100% money back guarantee. Those days are over. That's barely English. But I digress. Anyways, we want a concise and relevant title, and that would be the product name. As you can see here, it says under 250 characters. Even 150 characters I find looks very presentable. It doesn't look too trashy, it doesn't look stuffed. So if you find that your listing has a really long title and it's not indexing, you should receive a notification from Amazon that shows that the listing is suppressed, and that's why you're not making any sales. So pause this, check that, and if you're good to go, let's continue. So in the spirit of our famous Instagram case study, we did one where we went from 0 to 1,000 followers on Instagram, and you can check that out on the blog. We were pretending to be a company that sold shoes for dogs, so we'll continue that tradition here. And I'm thinking that shoes for dogs is the main keyword. So, what if I just decided that, well, for my listing title, it's going to be called Shoes for Dogs, and that's all. It seems a little short when you look at it, but I mean, what's actually wrong with it? Well, Honest Few has developed 5 criteria by which you can judge any listing title and see if it's appropriate or not. So the first criterion that you should judge by, it should be 150 characters, thereabouts. It says max 250, but let's go with 150. It accurately represents the product. That's the second criterion. The grammar and spelling are correct, and it hits 3 main keywords with good search volume. And 5, it contains the brand name. So Shoes for Dogs is under 150 characters. It accurately represents the product, so the customer won't be disappointed when clicking on this. The grammar and spelling are correct, and it hits 3 main keywords with good search volume. Or does it? It absolutely does not. It does not hit 3 good keywords with good search volume, and it doesn't contain a brand name. So for those 2 reasons, we need to fix this title. So how do you figure out which keywords have good search volume? Well, you need to go to the Google Keyword Planner tool, which I have open here, and I'm gonna go on my hunch. So I think that Shoes for Dogs is a pretty decent place to start, but we'll find out in a second. Got Add Group Ideas here, just hit the Keyword Ideas tab. And then we'll see that Shoes for Dogs does not have that high of a search volume in comparison to some of its equivalent keywords. So dog boots, reasonable search volume, and certainly higher than Shoes for Dogs. Dog shoes, higher once again. Even dog booties. Everything beats the 2,900. So I'd want to incorporate some of these keywords into my listing title. As long as you pick keywords that are appropriate to your product and the buyer won't be disappointed when they click on the listing, you should add them. And as long as it's within Amazon's character limit, of course. So I'm going to go away and construct a title based on some of these keywords, and I'll see you in a second. So instead of Shoes for Dogs, let's go with Dog Shoes by Dog Owners Only. Protective booties for dogs and puppies that perform well in water, winter, and snow. So essentially what I did here was that I kept it under 150 characters. You can go to 250 if you'd like. It accurately represents the product, so the buyer won't be disappointed. The grammar and spelling are correct. You'll find that a lot of stuffed titles don't read like a sentence. This reads grammatically and makes sense as you go through it. And it hits 3 main keywords with good search volume. I've got dog shoes, I've got protective booties, and water, winter, snow, which is a circumstantial thing that some dog owners would be looking for. And it also contains our brand name. Notice that I didn't put the brand name first. The brand name, especially when you're getting started, won't have as much relevance to the buyer or to keyword ranking. So it's advisable to have it in there to build your brand presence, but not necessarily to put it first. You want to hit main keywords as the very first word in the title. So there you go, that's title. Now moving on to the second optimization point, we're talking price. So price you can get in the offer tab. And scrolling down, so the price can be determined here, but the sale price can also be determined in this box. So what you want to do is you want to set your price to be, I don't know, say $30, and then the sale price could be, say, $24.99, at which point Amazon will display $24.99 as the purchase price, and it'll put a 30 with a slash through it. So you want to make the price drop significant, but not too much so that the buyer's wondering what's wrong with the product. Every buyer wants to feel as though they're getting a deal on this particular day, so a tasteful discount will serve that purpose. So you can also assign dates to the sale and have it automatically expire based on a date that you set. I usually just put a date really far ahead in the future so that I can kind of set it and forget it. So there you have it. That's the second point of optimization, price. Now let's look at the photos. The photos are all important when it comes to Amazon listings. So what Amazon does is it gives you 7 opportunities. You get 1 main photo. That's the one that appears in search results. And then you get 6 supplementary photos that appear inside the listing. More opportunities to sell the customer once they've clicked through to the product. So it says right here, but I'll reiterate. The main photo, 85% of the frame needs to contain the product. The product is on a pure white background and some stuff about pixels that I'll let you read. And then there are 6 other photos. And the tragedy of image-based conversion on Amazon is that most people do not use these 6 photos to their highest potential. I'll give you some examples. So here right now we're in the Garcinia category. It's notoriously competitive as a supplement. Like, you thought supplements were competitive, but Garcinia is extremely competitive amongst a competitive group of products. So you'd expect some really optimized listings. Well, let's take a look at some of the photos. This is one listing that uses this as a main photo, and then it has 2 kind of things. So you know that you know what size the bottle is, and you know what the nutritional information is. So this is good. This is good info. Don't get me wrong, but they're not exploiting the rest of the 6 photos. This listing exploits all of the photos. So this is the main one. So compare this with this, and again, the 85% rule, it's on pure white background. That's fine. Those are both on par. But then, where customer service 1 goes above and beyond is that they added some lifestyle shots. They added some benefits. They added a guarantee. So take a look at this. Lose weight or your money back. Very, very appealing. When you see photos with actual models, with people, even though it's just a Photoshop job, it doesn't matter. I think people like to think that they can't be persuaded by this sort of thing, but seeing human faces really increases your conversion rate. Again, the nutritional facts, just like its competitor, but then they went the extra mile with this. They really did a good job. And if you didn't graduate from high school, this will give you a sense of accomplishment. Very good. And the full label, just for fun, why not? So yeah, as a general rule of distribution, I would say, 1 main photo, 3 glamour or detail shots on white. So show the curves, the contours, the details, the texture of the product, stimulate the senses because the buyer can't be there. So that's 4. And then with the final 3, you're going to want lifestyle shots. Show the benefits of the product, not the product itself, but what it can do for you. Show people using it, show people enjoying their lifestyle as a result of buying the product. They walk the buyer through to the very end result, the logical conclusion of buying and using your product. There are a bunch of other technical specs which you can check out in the blog article that accompanies this video. So when it comes to photos, you can do it yourself, and I've linked up a YouTube video to a homemade light box that can get you going on that pretty quickly. Alternatively, you can get a professional to do that, and we have a recommendation for you. So, on to optimization point number 4, the bullets. We want to talk about what makes a convincing set of bullet points. Gonna jump back here. Here. Yes, so these are 5 opportunities to sell the buyer once they've clicked through to your listing, and you're going to want to employ some psychology here, some psychology and some biology. So with these bullet points, you should be appealing to not just features of the product, but benefits. So I'm pulling this idea from Cashvertising. It's a book by Drew Whitman, and essentially what he argues in the book is that you need to stop selling people on what your product can do and start selling them based on biological triggers. So these Life Force 8 benefits are the 8 things that every human needs regardless of who you are. Everyone needs them, everyone wants them, and if you sell using these, you'll increase your conversion rate. So survival, enjoyment of life, life extension, that's number 1. Number 2, enjoyment of food and beverages. Number 3, freedom from fear, pain, and danger. Number 4, sexual companionship. Number 5, comfortable living conditions. Number 6, to be superior, winning, keeping up with the Joneses. Number 7, care and protection of loved ones. Number 8, social approval. So it's a pretty good list, solid list, I like it. And if you appeal to, say, 2 or 3 of these in your bullet point, I'd say you're doing pretty well. So let's skip over to an example. And let me see. So this is the spiralizer market. I didn't know that these existed, but apparently they do. And not only do they exist, but people really want them, and they're extremely competitive. So in a competitive niche, you'd expect to see some good optimization, and these guys didn't disappoint. So this is a Briefton's vegetable spiralizer, and these are the bullet points. You can take away a few things from this. Personally, I think they're a little bit long, but it's up to you, really. They put an interesting kind of checkmark character here to differentiate where the bullets start and stop. That's kind of cool. You'll see a trend of beginning bullets with caps lock writing and then going into some text to differentiate, again, visually, the main point, the gist of it, and then some details that go along with the benefit. So when you're writing your bullets, and also the description, which we'll get into in a minute, include Life Force 8 type benefits. It's absolutely essential. And further to that, include Life Force 8 benefits in the photos as well. Here's another competitive niche, the silicone wedding ring area. And here is a set of some lovely silicone wedding rings. And you see they've followed our recommendations pretty much to a T. One main photo, fantastic. A few other glamour shots, the ring inside out, which is pretty cool. And then you start associating Life Force 8 style. You associate the product with sexual companionship or care of loved ones. It's this sort of thing that takes the product from just being a sterile object to something that can really improve your life in a meaningful way. And not just a meaningful way, but in a way that appeals to human biology. It's irrefutable. It's powerful. Now I want to talk about the description. The description comes in this little box here, 2000 character max. And what you want to do here, since we've already talked about the Life Force 8, is I'm going to talk about formatting, the most exciting topic in the world. You're going to use HTML formatting, hypertext markup language, which essentially means that you'll put funny symbols with your writing inside this box to make it formatted a certain way. So, for example, it's how these guys turned a block of text into this. So unseen here is what makes this text bold, what makes this indentation, and what gets the spacing like this. Because if you just type your text into this box, it will appear as a block and it won't be formatted. So let me show you some examples of some simple HTML tags that you can use in your product description. Okay, so if you want to start bold text, there's the tag. Stop bold text, there's the tag. Start a paragraph break, an indentation, there you go, and end the break. And so here's the same text that we just saw here, but it's been transcribed so that HTML is visible. So we've included this with the blog article. You can copy paste all of these HTML tags to make writing the description easier. We sort of done it and laid it out for you at that. So this is optimization point number 6. You're in your product build and you can go to the keywords tab, which is just here. This allows you to enter some tags here, which are keywords also that relate to your product to help it get found in search results. My note here would be that you don't need to include any redundant search terms. In other words, don't include terms that you've used in your title or necessarily in your bullet points. You want new keywords here, and Amazon's just giving you a little bit of extra space to tell them what else your product relates to, what other keywords are relevant. So again, there, just go to the Google Keyword Planner tool, sort it out, find the keywords in your niche with the highest volume and the most relevance, the intersection between those two things, and add them here, non-redundant ones. Okay, optimization point number 7. This is a really cool hack. There's no box to fill out in Seller Central for it. It's just neat. Use words with a really low advertising cost of sale from pay-per-click. So if you've ever run ads before, advertising cost of sale, or ACOS, is the ratio between what you've spent on an ad and what you've earned. So the lower the number is, the better. It means that you only spent $1, but you made $100 back. That would be a really low percentage and a good ACOS. So take the keywords that are performing well with a low ACOS from your Amazon PPC campaigns and see if you can incorporate them into your listing, either your title or your bullet points or the search terms here that we just went over in point number 6. How about that? Because then you have a set of keywords that is proven to work, proven to sell people, and you've retroactively incorporated them into your listing so that they can cycle back and you'll appear for those more organically, and then you'll make sales that way. Decrease your ad budget, make more sales, and use pay-per-click for something else than making immediate sales. You can use it for optimization as well. Okay, optimization point 8 is fulfillment. This is something I will only harp on for a second because it's obvious. Fulfill by Amazon, FBA, not FBM, which by default all listings that are newly created are. FBM is fulfilled by merchant. It means that you'll ship them out of your basement to Amazon customers. FBA is fulfilled by Amazon. You ship all your product to the Amazon warehouse and allow Amazon to fulfill the individual customer orders. So it's just colloquial evidence at this point, though I imagine it to be true, that Amazon grants preference to FBA fulfilled sellers as opposed to FBM, and why wouldn't they? Their margins are better that way. All right, optimization point number 9, reviews. We're gonna go hop over to Amazon. I want you to imagine that it's a friend's birthday. They're a waffle fanatic. You need to get them a waffle maker. You know this. You've never needed a waffle maker more in your life. You go to Amazon and you hit the search term, waffle maker. And we're looking around and we see, an Oster and we see a Cuisinart. And they both have the same sort of look to them. I can't visually differentiate between the models. I mean, this one's a little bit cheaper. This one's more expensive. But then again, you go and look at the reviews and you see 486 versus 2,497. Which do you buy? I mean, if they're both similar to begin with, aren't you going to trust the one that has more reviews? And even though it's a bit more expensive, the buyer might justify it in their mind by saying, well, it's more expensive, but it's more socially proven. People seem to like this waffle maker. If I get this one, I'm not sure that my friend will like it. And jury's out on this one. We'll see in a second. I'll pull up some Jungle Scout results and then see if, in fact, the one with more reviews is making more sales, even though it's more expensive. Cuisinart, where are you? 120K, Oster 82K. So you can get away with being more expensive if you have more social proof. That's my point. Generally speaking, the more reviews you have, the higher your conversion rate, and the more trust it instills in the buyer. Okay, so there you have it. 9 golden opportunities to optimize your listing right now. They're easy, they're actionable, and most people aren't taking advantage of them the way they should. To reiterate, we have title. 150 to 250 characters, hit some keywords, put your brand name in there, and make it read like a sentence. Number 2, we had price. A little drop, make the buyer feel as though they're getting a deal. Not too much, not too little. Don't be stingy. Number 3, photos. 1 main photo, 85% of the image is covered with the product, pure white. And then 6 other photos, 3 lifestyle, and then 3 glamour, show off some of the details. Number 4, we had bullet points. Use the Life Force 8 to appeal the biological triggers in the buyer to make them buy versus listing a bunch of the features of the product. That just leaves them cold. Number 5, description. Similar to the bullet points, employ the Life Force 8 to sell people better, but also employ HTML formatting so that it's more visually appealing. Number 6, search terms. Go into the back end and enter 5 lines of non-redundant keywords so that you rank for those as well. Number 7, take keywords that are working in Amazon pay-per-click and flip them into your title, into your bullet points, into your back-end keywords like number 6. Number 8, fulfillment. Use fulfilled by Amazon and not fulfilled by merchant. And number 9, reviews. Reviews increase social proof, your conversion rate, and also your click-through. You'll find that you're getting more clicks as your review rate increases. And speaking of reviews, that is what we specialize in. Honest Few is a service that provides a rush of sales and reviews for sellers who are either launching, or if you have a product that needs to get ahead of the competition and to be stronger, we can take care of that for you. So feel free to give us a call toll free or drop us a line on Skype. We'd love to hear from you. Thanks so much for watching. Get out there and optimize. Love you guys. Till next time.